All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are coming to you today from Cromwell, New Zealand. I have to show you guys this view. It's where we're staying. So there's a ton of apartments here in like a complex. Some live here, some teams are just coming in and out for the weekend. We're right by the Central Motor Speedway, like right down the street. That's where we're gonna be racing this Friday and Saturday, and we also got a practice session here. Starting off our trip, they brought us here. This is where we've been staying. We flew in obviously earlier this week and right away spent time with our team that we're racing with, BMAC Racing. They have a number 88 car and they have a 12i, which is the one that I'm gonna be wheeling. So it was really cool to get a day just to mesh with those guys right away, drop my seat in the car. It's really important to get comfortable, get fitted, so we focused on that. And then we just went through the race car and did everything to kind of get it race ready. Some of the small things that I like to kind of do in the States, kind of combined with what they do here, because obviously in the country of New Zealand, the racetracks are much, much different, whether it's the material, whether it's the shape, as you guys will see. There's just a lot of differences with Speedway New Zealand and what we have in the United States. And I'm excited to show that to you throughout the trip. So we landed, everything was good, got here, spent some time with the team, and then of course, once everything was all said and done, it was time to fire up the car. So it was nice how smoothly that went. Of course, anytime you're jumping in a race car that you haven't had your hands on or haven't sat in before, it's nice when it all goes smoothly, fires right up. That was a fresh power plant too, so that's just another factor into all of it. Now, in the meantime, we've mainly been doing racing related stuff, but have been hanging out. They've had some meet and greets and whatnot. There's a go-kart track right down the street, which all of us racers went, ran some laps. So that's what's gonna be cool about this trip. Obviously, I'm here, I'm a competitor, I want to race, I want to win, but there's a lot of cool things to do in this area, and we're going to continue that over the next 10, 12 days that we have here. So all that stuff aside, now the important part, rolling into the actual laps on track. Now with all the Americans coming down, they gave us some practice. Not all competitors were there. There's going to be like over 30 cars at this first race, but there was just about 10 of us that got the opportunity to practice and run our first laps around Central Motor Speedway. So I'm officially about to cross something off my dirt racing bucket list. Driving a sprint car in a different country that's not the United States. We're here at Central Motor Speedway in Cromwell, New Zealand, and I'm about to get in the BMAC Racing number 12i. Now, this is just a great opportunity for myself and the other Americans that have came down and a few locals to get a few laps before the next 4 races we have on our schedule. Again, this is the Central Motor Speedway, which is one of the most interesting tracks I've ever seen. Probably the only way to do it justice is to see the place from the sky. Like the shape 1 and 2 is much different than 3 and 4. You can tell walking on it that the material is different than what we're used to. We're really gonna get a first-hand look at what the New Zealand dirt tracks look like. So it's important for myself just to try to get comfortable and give myself the best opportunity to have a chance to be in victory lane at some point on this trip. And it all starts now as we get the work underway out on the speedway. So yeah, gonna fire up for some engine heat, get a couple practice laps, and again, get a good shakedown on the 12i. So in total, we got 3 sessions of practice, but my first 2 were honestly what I would call throwaways. What that means is I was one of the first cars on track, so they kind of had prepped it right, and when we got out there, it was pretty slimy, and then it was slick in other spots, and the track was just burning in. So my first session, again, kind of was just taking it easy because I wasn't sure what to expect with the car and with the track conditions, kind of like what the other guys were doing out there. Well, they were kind of still trying to figure out what to do with the racetrack, so they kept putting water on it, which of course made it very greasy. Well, they watered it right before I went out for my second session, so I was out there. You probably, if you didn't know what you were watching, that the track was wet, you would have thought I wouldn't know what I was doing. Obviously with 900 horsepower and when you're on top of water, like you spin the tires, the car's going everywhere, all over the place. So I was just burning the racetrack in, trying to see if there was anything I could learn. And then finally, by the third time I went out, I was able to get really, really comfortable. The racetrack had kind of came into its own, and I was able to start figuring out the Central Motor Speedway. So the team's getting ready to load up the 12i, just wrapped up our practice sessions. Got out there a few times. Some of the laps weren't the most useful because the track was pretty wet, but finally in the last session, I got a great opportunity to actually, really get to, wide open on the straightaways, carry good speed in the corner. This place, with it being so flat in the shape, like as a driver, you really just have to get past, I don't know, I feel like it's easy to almost want to go into the corner timid because it feels like, man, it's hard to think that you can carry as much speed as you're going, with 900 horsepower. Once I got rolling, I felt a lot more comfortable and really was able to get up in turn one, get up by the wall, make good angle, get off of turn two, because the turn two wall comes up really quick. You got to get your car in a really good spot so you can get down the back straightaway straight and not like walk in towards the wall. What I mean by that is literally in a four-wheel slide towards the wall. And then going down the back stretch, it's more standard into turn 3 and 4. You carry a lot more speed and you kind of feel more wing down, and you just get kind of, going left into the corner. And once you open up your board, your car turns really well and you're in the racetrack. So anyway, made some good laps there at the end. Don't want to overcomplicate it, had some fun, and now I feel like we have a good starting point rolling into tomorrow's show and just what to expect for these 4 races the rest of the trip. But really cool, we crossed something off the bucket list today and really looking forward to what's ahead.